Oh, nice. Okay, changes the DP in the background. Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, what's up? Now it's a very interesting thing today. One second. We'll start in 2 minutes, guys. We'll just wait for everyone. We'll start in 2 minutes. Nice, nice, nice. Like lot of people, lot of people. Is Aditya here? Aditya, are you here? Now, so I'll tell you what has happened. I sent, remember I put out the type form list that was there on my thing when I spoke about this thing that we'll do. I have got approximately 352 submissions. Okay. I have got 352 submissions on that type form list, and I've spent the last 1 hour going through 352 submissions to see what into criteria to see what would be good enough for everyone to understand, like some startup idea that everyone can understand, some startup idea that is unique, and it's something that people would want to think about. So I've been thinking of such ideas. There's another guy that's going to help me today. I'm just waiting for him to come. His name is Aditya Arora. He's supposed to come and help me out also with this. I'll just wait for him one sec. Also, it's very important to understand. By the way, this is episode one. Um, Wait, are you recording the scenes guy? Scenes market talk guy. I think there's a guy that was also going to record. Okay, yes, you are. Okay, perfect. Let me just get my charger because I think my phone's dying. Let me just be right back with my charger. Okay. Yeah. One second. Unnecessary stuff को हटा रहा हूँ. Uh, yeah. So as I was saying, there was 352 people um, who have applied for this. One second. Aditya, can you just ask to speak, please? Sunday just makes you so tired. Hey Aditya, how
Hey,
are you?
all good, man. How are you?
Good man. Good, good, good.
Sorry for the delay, man. In fact, I was just with Abhinav only. We were speaking at TEDx VIT today. I'm so sorry, just got delay from that.
You were speaking at TEDx. Was it oh, there's a lot of echo, bro.
Yeah. Speaking, Abhinav was also there. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, man. How's
understood.
it going? I hope I have not missed a lot.
No, no, no. We've not started yet. I've basically gone through. So there's a list of 352 startup ideas. So I've been going through most of them to figure out. Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is good, what is normal for people to understand, where everyone can understand. Also, not some highly overly complicated idea. So I'm trying to figure out what is good. There are some unique ones, some weird ones, some ones that I actually want to understand more from people. So yeah, that is something that I would want to understand. Now the thing is, I don't know if these guys are in the chat, so I'll have to call out their names and see if they are here. So one person who I want to call on stage, please message here if you are there, is called Gaurav, right? His name is Gaurav for the Kachrawala idea. It's very interesting though. Are you here, Gaurav? If Gaurav's there, then I can take him on stage and we can talk about it. If he's not there, then I'll have to go again through my shortlist process.
Okay, but Kachra wala
Gaurav, are you
sounds
here?
very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. So I would like to. There's no full name. This is the problem when you don't give me good data to work with. There's no full name, but the app name is related. The app is related to garbage. So he wants to call it Kachra Wala. Okay.
Wow. Hmm.
So if Gaurav is there, then great. Is Gaurav here? I don't see him here. If he's not there, then I'll have to continue. Okay, no Gaurav here to continue. Sad. Okay, is Yuvraj Singh here?
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the joke. Yuvraj Singh here. With respect to bill splitting, Yuvraj Singh. I can't believe you guys have put the thing and I've not come. Okay, I'm gonna highlight all these and keep it in the side. Uh, no, yeah. So Yuvraj Singh's idea was basically not splitwise. I mean, you guys know what splitwise is, but what he's saying is assume splitwise or something where you do all this Dutching system where you have all this, but also a wallet or a UPI that will automatically split everything and send it. Right? Imagine that feature. Instead of me actually UPIing five of my friends for last night's party, something that would automatically just auto split it to everyone.
Oh, sounds very interesting. Kind of like an extension to what Walnut is doing. But yeah, that is manual intervention. So this is a more
Yeah, no
automated
manual
one.
intervention. This is automated. Maybe have an intermediary wallet and that wallet deposits the money to you.
Very interesting. But yeah, I'd love to understand how they're utilizing data because for this they need a lot of data to build sort of algorithms on that. Yeah.
Correct, but the problem is the people are not coming. So Yuvraj Singh and Gaurav, if both of y'all have joined the chat, please let me know if you're here. Uh, if he's not there, please read the description of Kachrawala. Okay, so Kachrawala basically means that he wants to do an app called Kachrawala where he wants to collect garbages from different houses via his staff, and then from that garbage, because think about it from this perspective, garbage is free, but garbage collection, your cost would be just minor delivery charges, right? That you have to pay these people to pick up the garbage, which again, all these people anyway give it to the main garbage collection system to BBMP. But imagine a private player coming in and trying to take the garbage. You can recycle that and actually sell it to someone, because there
Yeah.
were
And
a
I
few
think
companies that were doing this. There were.
yeah. That's what I was saying. That a lot of smart city projects, if you look at Shashank on a state
Yeah.
wise, are doing this with private intervention. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people are doing this in with private through private companies. The reason why it is good is because the cost of the product is almost free,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The cost of the product is almost free. Anyway, so the people who are giving you the product, which are households, are not going to charge for kachra, correct? They just want to get it out of their house. You just need someone to come and collect it and gamify it and give them a few, good things to look at. But
Yeah.
again, both the founders or both the idea conceptualization people don't want to have not come today.
Oh, but yeah, I would have loved to sort of hear them. But yeah, let's go through the rest of the ideas then. Yeah, let's
Yeah, that's
see.
what. So I'm going. I'm finding where the other ones that are. There's 350, man. I've just marked all of them.
Oh, oh man.
Okay. But either way, guys, if you see Yuvraj Singh and Gaurav in the chat, please let them come. This is one thing that I think I'm gonna do something little better next time. Uh, that if I find ideas, I'm gonna take their email IDs or phone number and I'm gonna WhatsApp them and say, you know what, you guys are selected. Please come in the evening. Also, a lot of people think that ideas is what makes the startup. And please let me tell you that ideas don't make the startup. Execution makes the startup. Right? Ideas are copied today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And guys, I'll add like quick my perspective since I fund all these companies. Ideas don't have a patent, right? You can't say that okay, this idea came in my mind and I have a patent for it. No one can copyright. So you need to execute it on ground, either create a technology or a platform or a business model around it, which becomes your moat, which becomes your competitive edge over someone. And that's where the real essence is. Investors, when they're funding even your ideas, they not don't want to look at idea, and they want to look at how are you performing with that and how are you executing it on ground. So yeah,
Is
that's
there
my
someone known
perspective.
as Yatrat Rai on the chat? Yatrat Rai. So Gaurav, Yuvraj Singh, and Yatrat Rai. Are any of y'all here? This is also a very unique idea. So what he's saying is a startup for renting something on an hourly basis, but with by two people, by connecting two people. So for example, if I have an AirPod which someone else wants for like 2 hours, then we should do a renting system that way.
Understood. Like it's a peer-to-peer rental platform, P2P. Yeah.
Peer-to-peer renting system in a small neighborhood locality, because obvious now see suddenly I want something, right? I really am desperately in need of this thing. Maybe I'm shooting some video and I want one light, right? And I don't have it now. I can't go find out where it is and then purchase it like that. But I want to go on this app and just find all the people who are ready to rent it out for like, you say for example you want a GoPro, you're just making a spot plan to go somewhere and you want a GoPro for a few days.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't trust people, yes, but that's why we're discussing such ideas, because your question exactly, how do we negate people who are bad players? All that is there, yes, obviously.
I think system C, guys, as in if you're building a rental platform, there are of course pluses and minuses. Pluses, the big plus is of course every startup is going towards a rental economy. People don't want to buy cars; they want to sit in an Ola or a Uber, right? People don't want to own house; they want to rent it out. People don't want to have like expensive clothing; they want to rent it out from a Flyrobe or something like that. So
Okay, is Prashant S here as well? Education idea, Prashant. Oh, Prashant S is here. Thank you. Please ask to speak. I'll get you on stage.
Hello.
Hey, Prashant. We'll do all that. Just give me 1 sec, okay? Let me get three people on so that it's easy so everyone can understand.
Fine.
But guys, if you see in the chat, if Gaurav, Yuvraj Singh are on there, let me know. So, how are you doing, Prashant?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, man. Nice idea, because it is something that definitely has a problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
is Ratul Devel here? Oh, this is quite interesting. Ratul Devel, are you here? I don't know if this will work in India. It's a very raunchy idea. Ratul Devel, are you here? Okay, it's not there. So Ratul Devel basically wanted to make an experience room, or basically like a sex room, okay, like an experience room. Is Ratul here? Okay, Ratul, you have to please come and tell us this amazing idea that you have got. Um with regard to your sex room? Hey Ratul, are you here? Okay, and is
Hello,
Shushmit Ghosh here?
hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, man, Ratul, you're audible.
Yeah, I was just thinking of how to earn money from people's
Wait,
fetishes.
wait, wait, wait. We'll do it. We'll do it. See, we're only going to look at everything from a startup perspective. There's no good or bad things in this. It's all about analysis. Okay. Is Sushmit Ghosh here? Sushmit Ghosh. Okay, come on stage. Chalo, we've got our three people. Awesome. Come on stage. Sushmit asked to speak. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, we've got our three speakers. Now I want you guys to tell me who you want to go first, right? There's Sushmit, there's Ratul, and there's Adit. No, there's Sushmit, Adul, and Prashant. Chat, put who on whom, which startup idea do you want to discuss first? Okay, everyone's unanimously saying Ratul because of the. Okay, so Ratul, you're going first. Okay, Aditya, you will also help us out here. Now, whatever we talk about this is a startup idea. Okay, don't be immature about anything, but it is just to understand if this is a viable business, can be possible, and how it can be made into a viable business. Can it be used in India or not? Because we're in India. Okay, so Ratul has written building sex rooms with all the sex toys like the ones in 50 shades of gray, with a pricing of a normal room and a luxurious room. Okay, so Ratul, do you want to expand on this? In my opinion, it's a great idea, firstly. Okay, but Ratul, do you want to expand on this? Hello? Ratul, you're on mute.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, I think you should talk a little loudly though. Come close to the.
So I was just watching a video wherein I got to know that the biggest, hack to earn money is to satisfy other people's needs. So I was thinking of how to make money from people's fetishes.
Speak loudly, no? Little bit.
I think
Very low, your voice is coming out.
there's something wrong with my phone, I guess.
Okay, just speak loudly though, either which way.
Yeah,
But
so
don't actually, you can't speak. Yeah, yeah, this is better.
I was thinking how to make money out of people's fetishes. So also when I went to Goa, I saw that how big the sex culture is and how we can make money out of it. Like
Yeah,
every time people are thinking about it, but no one is thinking like how to monetize that thing.
correct. Now,
So I
your
don't think that
idea.
it is viable in like whole India, but parting places like Goa or maybe out of India, it is viable.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you what, there are places in different parts of the world that have such experiences, by the way. Not in India. I don't know about India. I'm not sure about India. But if you look at the Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, Thailand, China, Japan, South Korea, all these places actually have these things known as experience room. Okay, these like they have these things like an experience room where what you're yeah, Amsterdam, as someone's put in the thing, and all this is legal. It's legal. Why? Because see, first of all, you're having a consent and you're going in, you're paying for a service, and all they're doing is giving a service, right? It's all about a service. Now, as you mentioned that the why people are not monetizing on this. By the way, the sexual industry in India is quite big. It's quite massive, right? Just check all your condom companies, right? It's pretty massive if you think about it. There is even a stock listed company which manufactures condoms. Do you guys know what it is?
Landmark.
No. Cupid.
Oh yes,
Cupid.
Cupid. Yeah.
Mankind is a $1 billion company. Cupid is a stock listed company that provides this to all governments and also provides it to a lot of institutions as well. They don't do B2C, they're B2G in fact, right? And it's a big market. If it was not a big market, there wouldn't be so many players in the market running ads on TV, correct? So, Ratul, your point of this startup, now you have to think about how would you say market this to the arm janta, because if you look at how Condoms have done it. They've obviously taken a social cost because yes, it is good to control population and it is also good because नहीं तो बहुत आबादी हो जाएगा. And they're allowed to run ads, but then the ads are also, you see how the ads are, right? It's very sexist kind of ads. Um, so tell me more about what your idea. The idea I like. Okay, it is not like a bad idea. There's no such thing as a bad idea. It's definitely something that someone would pay for. Now I'm just thinking, how would this work in the Indian context?
Like this can work for teenagers who are just watching Netflix all day, and then they have a relationship and they
Hmm.
want to try as many things as possible, and we have something for them. So why wouldn't they try? Like everyone is trying Oyo and all, so why wouldn't they try this?
Okay, makes
Like
sense. Makes
obviously
sense.
there will be I think there might be some embarrassment in some of the people, but secretly everyone would want to go there.
I honestly feel I don't think there'll be any embarrassment, to be honest. In fact, it'll be excitement more than embarrassment. Especially with youngsters right
Yeah.
now who are not embarrassed to go get an Oyo room. So yeah, Aditya, go ahead. What do you think about this, Aditya?
Yeah, I think yes, the market for that is definitely there in foreign countries where, in fact, this is legal, right? And the best thing
Yeah.
about this business, like a fetish business, is that it has got a repeatability factor to it. Because if someone is in fetish,
Hmm.
they definitely try to repeat those things same and again and again and
Not.
again, right? So अगर जैसे for example आप experience rooms बनाते हो and of course people are enjoying those that experience, they would of course try and go there again and again. That's how Starbucks started, right? They started experience marketing. So that is one very good aspect of your business. And yes, as Shashank said, this is more like liberation, right? Oyo rooms is something जाते हो, whatever you go, you face most of the time you face embarrassment. You are afraid of embarrassment more than liberation. But here it's like a legal room where you go. So I think one business model that you can study is of this company called Stay Uncle. So Stay Uncle, although failed, could not scale up, but you could learn a lot from their failure story. They also started like an experience room format, and they had like short time hour hotel, right? Because Oyo typically would give you a 24-hour access to any property that you are entering into. But these kind of experience rooms typically have a 6 hours window. So you can learn from Stay Uncle and all these players. Fab Hotels as well started doing this. That you can go onto their website and book that experience room for hours. So you can study from that, you can learn from the failure stories. But I think how to make money more than having that experience once a person is inside a room, more than that you should get into the mindset. It's a more of a mindset game. If people position you or label you as okay, this is not an embarrassing option but actually a safe one, a fulfilling one and a liberating one, that's when you see more of word of mouth happening and more of sales happening. So build that community factor. And how would I build that community? And how would I ensure that the right message goes to a person when once I'm booking those experience rooms? So yeah, that's
That's
what I
smart.
think.
That's smart. So I'll tell you what we'll do in this startup segment, in the startup episode. Every
I have
time,
some another point. Like
yeah,
if like normal people want to have sex, they can have even at their homes. They don't
correct,
necessarily need an Oyo. But
correct.
like if the people want to have those experience, they just can't replicate all those availability of
Obviously.
toys and everything at their home. So that could also be a benefit.
See, it's like going to a movie theater to watch a movie, right? You can watch it at your home on your sofa and a TV as well, but you go to the movie theater for the experience, for the luxurious seats, for the infrastructure, and for that thrill and feel. It's an experience. That's what I call it, an experience business. So you're actually giving an experience, right? Now, when we evaluate every startup, there is something known as SWOT analysis. Do you guys know what SWOT analysis? You guys must have done it in college.
Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats.
Yes. So we will analyze whether how this fits into your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, and then we will outweigh and we will see does the weakness outweigh the strengths or will the strengths outweigh the weakness. And after that, we can decide whether it is a viable idea in India or it is not. Cool?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Now, the first thing that we need to look at is the strength aspect. Okay, we look at how the strength. What are the strengths of your business, Ratul? What do you think are the strengths of your business?
Like customer repetition.
Yes, recurring customer base, loyal customer base, 100%. Large market, yes. People are even chat keep helping out in this. Yes, retention, large, satisfied customers at the end of the day without you doing anything.
Exactly, like मेहनत भी उनको करना पड़ेगा और we just have to keep the experience luxurious.
All you have to do is keep the standard of that experience high. That's all you need to do. Correct?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
strength is that repetitive customers, the market is massive. It will cater to anyone above 18 years and older. In fact, it can even go to the older age audience. It does not have to only be at 18 years. Correct? Because a lot of people would want that experience, and you can have different type of experience room as well.
Yeah,
Correct?
like
I
we
would say
can
that
have
would be the strength.
something like silver, bronze kind of thing.
Platinum. That's damn smart, dude. That's damn smart. That's
Yeah,
very,
I
very
just
smart.
watched your that grow video in the afternoon, so I got.
Yeah, that's damn smart. So that is something I would say your strength. What is the SW? Okay, what is your weakness? Weakness, what would you say your weakness is?
Weakness is like telling my parents like what business I am into.
So social stigma. No, it's not about you. No, no, no. Nobody cares about what you and your parents will do. I'm talking about business, right? What is the weakness of your business? The weakness of business is not what my parents think I do. That's not a weakness of the business. What is the weakness of the business?
Like
This will make you guys think of how to evaluate a startup.
if some adult has been abducted and then forced into the
Yes.
classrooms or something like that.
So, for example, some of the weakness of this business would be one, obviously, social stigma, because you might not get approval in the from family members or the society will not approve it. If you have a experience room next to some society, the first thing the society would do is to just throw that away. Correct.
Like they would
Second
tell like
thing,
their kids to be stay away from that area only.
yes, obviously, and they'll call it because that industry in India is looked down upon a lot for some reason, right? In in foreign countries, that's actually a legitimate business. There is no one judges you if you're in that business. Here, there's a lot of judgment in India, which is fine. That's the people can have their judgment. That's not my lookout, but that is something that you the business will
That's
have to
because
face
most
as
of
well.
the industries are unorganized.
Yes, most of the industry is organized, and yes, so one of the major another threat would be from the unorganized industry also, because the unorganized industries don't always play by the rules, right?
But I don't think the experience offered in unorganized like not even I would give an only 2 points out of 10 if I were to think of it.
Yeah. So okay, fine. That is your strength. The experience is much better, and it is by people. It is not by some profession. It is just two people who are in love who want to experience something can come and experience whatever they want. But the weakness here, one is your social stigma. The second weakness that I would say is safety and security. Why? Because you can't put cameras in any room. Number one. What if something really wrong happens? Right? Because when people do have fetishes or people do have some kind of kinkiness towards something, there are instances where it can go a little extreme, right? And if something like that happens, what do you do? Some really bad illegal thing happens right inside that room, right? Or what if people actually say, for example, have drugs inside that room? You don't know.
But we can
Correct.
like have something like a check post at the entry for drugs and all.
No, that you can have, but I'm saying, what if something happens inside and there's an incident, and there's a very high possibility of this happening in such a business, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, like in bodily injuries and all.
Yes. So now, see, there's one person called Reaper saying sign a document. So there is a way where you can sign a no, like nothing you can do to whatever you do inside that room is for you, and nothing will happen to me. It is a complete indemnification from my side. Like whatever you do is on your liability and not mine. But that does not work in India that well. I'll tell you why. Because if something happens there and something wrong happens and the cops come in, right? The consent form, the cops don't give a 2 cents about the consent form. They'll be like, who's running this place? Come to the police station. First thing, that's the question. Correct? They don't care about consent form. That is the problem when you're operating in India a little bit. Right? That is little wrong from that perspective, from what they would put a weakness on your business, this is something government and regulatory perception of what you're doing would be perceived as wrong if you don't structure it in the right way. You get it? For example, I'll give you an example. If you say that this experience room is only for married people, you might get more better response than if you say that this experience room is for anyone and everyone above 18 years of age. Think about it for 1 second in India. It is a sad truth. It is a sad truth, but that is one of the possibilities that can have an issue also, because people are okay if you're married and then you do whatever experience you want. Like that's something I don't understand. Like after marriage, they all encourage you to do your first night, and they're all jumping around and dancing around. That time it's not a social stigma, but anything before that is a social stigma.
Yeah, so then we can have different versions of our branches. If there is a party state, then we can allow 18 plus guests in that. And if there is some state like which are very conservative, then we can have that only married guests are allowed. Just like different hotels have different policies.
Possible. That is a smart idea. That is a possibility. But all I'm saying is the backlash that you might get could actually stop the business even from even starting up. Because I'll tell you why. It is not about the backlash you might get that they will stop your business. The thing is, when the backlash is too high, the customers would not want to come because the backlash is too high and they're unsafe. Correct? That would be an issue. Customers will be like, नहीं boss, ये बहुत risky है, नहीं जाने के मेरे को. It's weird.
But we can discuss everything with the with some government official before starting any such kind of
Mm.
business. Like,
Yeah.
Aditya, what's your take on this?
Yeah. So what I think is that see, the point is that every state government, right? Every government has its own laws. Now there is no law in India which stops you, of course, from having a same room, right? And that is something that even I've done my research around. That there's no law which stops. But what is bad is the moral policing which happens in most of these OYO properties and everywhere. The surprise check-ins happen, and most of the times, if you see, the surprise check-ins happen not because okay they have a clue that maybe this couple is in the room. The surprise check-ins happen because that hotel owner, right, that hotel person has very tainted relations with the police. Either they are not, of course, having a good relation with them, they are violating sort of local rules in there, and that's where they have a crackdown on the hotel by scanning through all the rooms, right? So for you, I think the best way is, even if you have to go a B2G route in that, the best way is to first sit down and get that local authority and get that local sort of paperwork sorted out, right? So that even when surprise check-ins happen, you can't stop the police, but even when surprise check-ins happen, you have a paper around it that of course you need to have that nexus to that okay, this is sorted out, and I have like the relevant sort of connects around that. And yeah, that's one cent. The second cent would be that there is one law in Delhi. Like most of these experience rooms have a law that you can't book a room in the same area as your residence. So let's say if you are in Delhi, you can't book a same room in Delhi. That's what happens to most of the OYO properties, right? You have to go to either an NCR or Noida or a Gurgaon to book some property. So if by B2G route you can somehow escalate that rule that we can book it in the same area of residence, right? That is something that would be a very, very good factor for you. It is still there. It is still there, and that depends on the prerogatives of like hotel owners, right? 90% of the times they would deny if you are from the same city. So one is of course have that nexus, right? Have that of course backing from behind, and second is make sure that maybe try and see if this rule, this policy can be violated and can be lifted off for your experience rooms. Yep, that's what I think, Shashank. What you want to add something to that?
No, that's true. Like you can take all the approvals, but it's the bigger problem is not the approvals, because you can start after the approvals. But when things go wrong, things go wrong. And if that happens, the chances, I mean, when they try to put pressure back on you, nobody cares about the approvals that you currently have. You can start off, you can run it and try to maintain it without controversy as much as possible. But as soon as something goes wrong, that's it. The whole world tries to come back on you and saying this is just wrong, this is not right, and that becomes an issue. Unless you brand it and you portray it in a very different way, right? You have to portray it in a way where it is okay to people, okay for people. Okay. Next, I think we discussed S and W. Now we'll go to O, which is opportunity. I think opportunity, most of it we discussed that yes, India is a very big market. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was this one episode by Atul Khatri, I think, if I'm not wrong. Atul Khatri is a comedian, and he said that, he made it as a joke, and he said that Bangkok understood that their neighboring country, India, okay, or the next door country, India, had a lot of demand and they had the supply, okay. So they just kept fulfilling this supply with the demand which kept on coming from India, and that is why India, Thailand, and Bangkok and all those countries are just fulfilling one country's needs. And it was a joke that he made that all of us just fly to, and that is like, see, for example, Ratul, this is very important with respect to perception. Like when people go to Bangkok, if someone tells you tomorrow, I'm going to Thailand, I'm going to Bangkok, do you know what the first reaction of an Indian to another Indian is?
Yeah, I know.
What is that? Maybe he's just going the uh, and he's just going to look at how the country is and eat their food. But every time someone in India says, I'm going to Thailand or I'm going to Bangkok, the perception is, ए कमीने कुछ करने जा रहा है, right? That is the logical, that is what it's ingrained in everyone, that everyone feels that way. But maybe that's not the case. But you see how perception has played here. And that is also considered okay by a lot of people. When people say, yes, we're going to Bangkok for a vacation, it is considered okay. It's considered fine. Why? Because the perception has been put that way. Correct? So that's why I said it's all depends on perception. So opportunities, I think we've discussed a lot that India is a country that might use this a lot. They love experiences. It has repetitive customers, and it is a big enough market to attract all this because currently the entire sector which is already there is a very unorganized sector. So you can't point fingers at anyone. But tomorrow, when you make a organized sector front against it, that is when it becomes, you have someone to point fingers at. Today you can't point fingers at anyone, there's no single entity. But if you become a single entity, someone can point fingers at you. Got it? Now what are the threats? What do you think is the threat for this?
Some other foreigner
If
company.
this works, assume it worked, what is the threat? Ratul, I'm asking you.
Yeah,
Can't hear you.
I'm thinking of
I
something
think
like
he's thinking.
any some other foreign company like seeing that India is taking something kind of a sex revolution. So we should also
Yeah.
launch a company in the India, like to have
Hmm.
some competition.
Correct. See, good threat analysis, because it's not only about someone outside India, it can be someone inside India also. Because what does it require to start this? Real estate. All it requires is real estate and good interior designer, to be honest.
Or we can collab
That's
with
it. Just two
companies
things.
like Oyo and all.
Yeah, possible if it becomes legal in India, right? I'm saying if it completely it becomes legal in India, that this is something that uh, can be a possibility. Yes, you will have competition definitely coming up, and it'll come very fast. Okay, because obviously you have to make it an experience. You'll have an app, right? You'll have food being delivered. You might have a pickup drop service. So then everything doesn't become about the company because everyone's offering the same thing. But then people would think about what the experience is like. It would all depend on, what, with that company I had a better experience compared to your company. That is why I said ideas are easy in India, execution is the most difficult, because your idea, as you just realized, that a lot of people can just copy it. So how does it differentiate from you? There's no business right now that only runs on monopoly. Everyone's copied everything right now. But why is it that we still use some apps more than others? Because of experience, because of brand recall, brand awareness, lot of things.
Like we can also run a sex education campaign side by side, like to
You
bring
can,
good
you
Yeah.
can. That's very good. That's very good, because education is now the theme of the entire market. And that is something that a lot of companies are doing right now to build. Why are they educating? They're not educating so that more people use their product. They're educating for brand loyalty, and brand affinity more than brand loyalty,
I mean,
right? Because
just
this
like
company is teaching me I should give back.
I think alcohol brands do, like they put up their water bottle ad, and like they mean that you should try my alcohol too.
Correct.
So,
No, but I don't think alcohol brands can openly market come
Yeah.
drink.
yeah, which is why they
It's called surrogate
do
advertising. Yeah.
yeah.
Surrogate marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that we can also do, that we are running a sex education campaign, and this campaign is by this company.
Awesome. Yeah, so this was basically the SWOT analysis for Ratul's idea. Now, before we even go into whether it's a good idea, bad idea, will it work in India? See, ideas might be good, right? There's no such thing as a bad idea. But the question is, if you start it tomorrow, will it work in India or not? That is the main question. Now, before we ask that question to the audience and before we give our own input to it, firstly, I want to understand, just think back to the idea that was mentioned in the start, right? You remember the idea. Just see how people from the audience who have been listening have actually understood and broken down this idea into different formats, made different variations, made different ideologies of it, and also realized how they can do marketing. Just see how you learned instantly in the last, for 30 minutes, only by being on this chat, right? This is the power of how a real life case study of a particular company works. And what you might think is, okay, Shashank, this is only for this idea, other ideas will have completely different, maybe the approach will be different. That's fine, the approach will be different, but the way you're thinking is what is most important. You don't care about, you know, you don't care about the emotional side of it. You're only looking at it from a logical perspective, because in business you have to look at things from a very logical perspective. Okay, is this going to work, is this not going to work? And you should never be emotional about it. If you get emotional, it's a problem. Okay, coming to the main question, do you guys think, first chat, okay, do you guys think this idea will work in India if it starts now? Will it succeed?
Shashank, we can like have someone like Seema Anand for the marketing of such startup.
I don't know who that is.
Just search on
Seema
Google.
Anand, yeah, but I don't think you'll have to, of course, talk because marketers would also market the products which they feel related to. Someone like a Seema
I'm
Anand,
comfortable.
yeah, yeah. So you'll have to talk about Seema Anand is
Milind Soman would be the best guy for you to
yeah,
get, to be honest.
yeah, Milind Soman. Okay,
Okay,
but if
so a
it
lot
actually
of
goes up,
people,
I can. Yeah.
sorry.
No, no, Shashank, I was just saying that since in one of my companies, Milind Soman has like sort of invested, so I was just saying to Ratul that if it actually brings up to the day and is something good, actually sort of
Yeah.
real time pitch you with Milind Soman for that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll tell you what my logic is, right? And looking at the chat's reply also, a lot of people are saying the answer is no. I believe that if you start this right now, it will not succeed. The only reason why it won't succeed, even though the idea is amazing, even though everything is awesome from that standpoint, even though the market is huge in India, it will not succeed only because of two people, two facets of people. One would be the government, and the other would be the society and the social stigma against it. And you might have 100 ideas to beat that, but all it takes is one issue, and that issue will make it so, like, the people will look at it with so much toxicity, and they would just want to shut it down, because no one wants that next to their house. Because imagine, right, if you had one of your centers next to my house, it would be a little weird, because you have this homely vibe, and you keep seeing people coming at 5 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m. in the night, and people look at it from a very weird standpoint. So that's why I feel right now it won't work in India, even though the idea is very good. Got it?
I have also given like 4 to 5 more entries. Did you see those ideas?
I saw, but this was the most interesting one. The other ones are normal. Your other idea was Zomato for gyms around you.
But
That's
there
already
might
there,
be a
by the way.
problem facing for looking for gyms in Delhi.
No, no, but that's there. There's a flexi pass where you can go to any gym and workout. There's a daily pass. You can just go to some 100 different gyms and go there. So that is already there.
Yeah, My Fitness Pass or
Yeah.
Fitmax, even Cult Fit has started doing this. So lot many players there, buddy, in the similar space.
Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, I want you to guys to give a nice round of thank you to Ratul for giving us this idea and giving us a case study and giving us a problem for us to solve. And I hope we have solved it well by not being. And I'm very appreciative to the audience that it was easily. The audience can just get weirded out by this and say, "Oh my God, this is something weird." But we're all grown up, we're all adults, and we know how to look at a business situation and figure out how the solution to that would work. So I hope you guys are happy with that and you guys like it. Okay, thank you, Ratul.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, next. Where did one more guy disappear, dude? Prashant is here. Where is someone disappeared, right?
Yeah, there were three folks. There were five of us on the stage. Yeah, someone
So
disappeared.
Sushmit Ghosh disappeared.
Yeah. But I think let's start
Okay,
with the
chalo. Let's. Okay, Sushmit Ghosh. I think you left it by mistake. Okay, awesome, guys. Did you guys like it? Did you guys like the first part? We'll go to the second one. Okay, the second one is by let's do, since we spoke a lot about uh, education, let's talk about Prashant and his education idea, which I know is tackling because we did education, so I know there's one big issue here, but Prashant has found a unique problem to fix this issue. Now, let me just read Prashant's issue before Prashant tells his own idea, okay? The biggest problem with online courses right now is a very high dropout rate. Dropout rate means I start an online course, but I never end up finishing it. It's too boring for me to read it online alone. Correct? Suppose we charge the students to sign up and then paid them back every time they completed a module or course. This would motivate them to learn and wouldn't cost them anything if they completed the course. That is the idea.
very interesting. That's like a reverse paying. So students, rather than paying for the course, are getting earned for completing the course. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And also in
yeah. Like,
India, we all love our money.
yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly.
the parents will hit you and be like, मैंने इतना पैसा भरा है, वापस पैसा मिल रहा है, पढ़ाई करना ही पड़ेगा.
Yeah,
Now, from your side, Prashant, tell me first how you
But
got
would
this
love to know
idea
more.
and
I
what is
think,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
start
would love to know
elaborating.
that.
How would you make this happen? Like, who would pay for the student?
yeah. So basically, I got this idea because of the
Who
lockdown
would
issues,
who would
right?
actually pay? I would love to understand that business model. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So basically, everything is going into the online mode kind of thing. Everyone now has stopped going to the theaters and have started using Netflix or Amazon Prime. Similarly, I feel because of this lockdown issues, many people will start using online mode of education as their very. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, no, people in the chat were telling like not audible. So,
So talk loudly a little bit, that's it.
okay, okay, fine. So yeah, so since many people are going to the online mode, I thought the education platforms that currently are like Coursera or Udemy are going to obviously boom in the future. So the only problem which I faced with this Coursera or Udemy is basically I have enrolled in so many Udemy courses. I have around almost 10 or 15 Udemy courses right now. I have enrolled in around 10 or 15 of them, but I have completed, I guess, only one or two so far. So basically that was my problem. Even though the online we have a lot of free content and good paid very good paid content on the internet, we are not able to use it and complete it. So because of that issue, I thought, if we for instance, let's say I pay 1,000 rupees for a course, and that's a pretty nominal amount compared to what colleges charges. So let's say I pay 1,000 rupees. So my thought was, let's suppose there are 10 modules for a particular course. So every time a person completes one module, the app will give a cashback of 100 rupees. So if I complete all 10 modules, I'll get back my money. I'll get the entire 1,000 rupees back. Or if I complete, let's say, 5 or 6 modules of the entire course, I'll get 500 or 600 rupees cashback. So basically, I feel once having paid the money, I will be motivated to complete the course because I'll be getting cashbacks as I keep on completing the course. So basically, that's how I thought. Because this was a problem faced by me, I wasn't able to complete the online courses. So I thought this will, help more and more people to complete the courses that they have enrolled in. So yeah, that's the idea.
And by cashback, you mean physical cash back to their bank account, or do you mean in their wallet where they have to do another, like, our other type of cashbacks that are there in the market, where cashback मिलता है
Yeah,
पर वो
yeah.
wallet में आता है and you have to use it in the same company.
Yeah, so basically, I thought of three ideas to give them cashbacks. The first one is obviously on their wallet itself. So basically, I actually have given this a name also called Courseflix. So let me call it Courseflix. So basically, they can the students will get a cashback on their wallet, Courseflix wallet. They can use the money in that wallet to buy to
More
purchase
courses.
some more
Yeah.
courses. Yeah, some more
Yeah.
courses. So they
Understood.
either the students can do that, or if they want a cashback to their bank account itself, I thought let's charge some 10 or 15%, which will discourage them from taking it to their bank account and rather spending it on more courses using their wallet. So basically, they have three options. The first option is to receive cashback, the entire amount cashback on the wallet itself, which they can use to buy more courses. Second option is to obviously get cashback to their bank account itself, but the will take a 10 or 15%. Let's say if they get 1,000 cashback, we'll take 100 as the fees because we are giving it back to their bank account itself. So this will discourage them from getting the cashback to their bank account. The third option, which I thought would be good, is to use the money in the wallet to buy something, like goods, hoodies, swags, something like that. We can make an inbuilt store in the application itself, and they can purchase laptop stickers, hoodies, and many things, many other things related to yeah, merchandise. So we can sell that also. So they can use that money, and uh, we'll get some profit on the merchandise as well.
And
And
who
I
will
got
buy
one
the
more.
product? As Aditya mentioned, who will pay? Who are the people who will going to pay?
The students, obviously. The
No,
students,
students don't have money
since
to pay.
it's not like very costly courses and all. So the courses in the courses on Udemy, many students purchase courses on Udemy. It's just 500 or 1,000 bucks, and people don't feel very bad to pay that much, that negligible amount. I'm a
Hmm.
college student, so and I pay 2 lakhs per year for my college fees and all. So when I get something really valuable for 1,000 rupees, and I'm a college student, I spend lots of money on pizzas, burgers, and stuff. So I don't feel bad to spend 1,000 rupees for a really good course. I have purchased many Udemy courses related to web development and all because I wanted to learn web development. So I don't feel bad to pay just 1,000 bucks for a very good course online, since that we know there are free courses on YouTube, but they aren't properly structured for us to take it as a course. The content on YouTube is very unorganized. There is content on YouTube, but it's very unorganized. So I thought people will definitely feel okay to pay 1,000 or even 2,000 rupees for a really good online course. And if we know that we'll get the entire cash, the entire amount we pay, if we know that we'll get it back, obviously I'll be even more motivated to complete the entire course. So I thought college students will not, in hopes of getting the entire money back, definitely they'll try it out at least once.
Hmm.
So this is the idea. And one more thought for me was the three ways to make give cashback so far was: one was the wallet and purchasing courses from the wallet. Second was the direct cashback to bank account. Third was buying merchandise. And fourth one, I thought we can give them an option to donate to old age homes, or something like that, old age homes, Blue Cross or something, so they can use the money in their wallet to directly donate to a good cause. We can give them that feature also. So these are the four ways through which they can use their cashbacks.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the idea. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Firstly, I should tell you that, especially Prashant, this is a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Very smart. Okay, very, very, very smart. Why? Because you're merging education with an incentive. But again, we will look at all sides. Okay, there is good sides and bad sides as well. And there are some things that are there for a reason that since I was in the education industry, I can tell you a few things. Maybe that can help you also. Correct?
Okay, okay. Yes, yes.
Okay. So Aditya, first I want to hear your take on this, man.
Got it. Got it. No, Prashant, it was a good idea, but I'll tell you. See, this is a good side. This is a bad side. First, I'll tell the good side, right? So, good side is that there's a repeatability on your platform, where you are giving an incentive to come back on the platform again. So, let's say Shashank and me do a course, and we find the quality of the content good, we would be incentivized to spend more time on the platform. So, there's like a very good
Yes, yes.
repeatability flow to it. That's a good strength point. But I'll tell you the weakness point, which is I think a much bigger weakness than it is strength, is that it is more like a feature extended. It's just a more marketing gimmick rather than the whole idea itself. At the end of the day, students are still paying for the course. Students are just getting cashbacks on it so that they can use sort of money to buy courses on the same platform. Now, the biggest disadvantage
Yeah,
with that is, let's say I'm a student and I complete a course, I get a money, I look at the other courses on your platform and I'm not incentivized. I don't find the quality any good, or maybe I don't want to like do a course. Most of your courses are in digital marketing. I don't want to do a course on digital marketing, right? So where do I actually
yeah.
go? The cashback that I get is mostly wasted, right? Or the merchandise that I
In
get is
that in
mostly
that
wasted.
case, no, no. In that case, they can directly, take the amount back to their bank account itself.
Yeah,
They
yeah, but
just,
in that case as well, 10 to 15% is you are being cut, right? Which
yeah,
is a very very
yeah,
hefty amount. So that penalization is again there. So you have to firstly think that what is my real target entry there. If an academy starts to do this like a wallet format, they can do it as well, right? They have courses, they have cashbacks, they can do that themselves as well. So where does my actual proposition lies? Is it in the marketing segment where I'm basically providing like free cashbacks and all this? Am I a cashback company, or I am more like an edtech company where I'm creating good quality content so that people find value to buy these courses in the first place? Because if they don't buy courses in the first place, your entire sales cycle does not start.
yeah.
So that is,
Yes,
I think, the biggest sort of challenge that you'll have to think before you start with the marketing side of things. That is what in my initial thought is, Shashank. What do you think?
Okay, so interesting, very interesting. There are a lot of plus points and minus points on this, or a lot of, let's not call it minus points, let's call it tweaking points that you should definitely tweak. And some of the things that Aditya has told you is also very important, because there is something where, I don't like something. I've read marketing and I want advanced and I want more advanced and I want more advanced, right? Now, I'll tell you how the education system, online education system works. There is a lot of courses that are basic courses, then there are some courses that are advanced courses. Okay, now advanced courses are basically there so that the basic guys can come and buy the advanced courses, so it is more like an upsell. You know what upsell is? Same person ko I'm trying to sell something which more value, okay, which is already done. But the number of people who will buy your basic course are 10 times maybe more than what your advanced course buyers would be, because most of them would want to just come and learn the basics and go away. Only this, out of that 1,000 people, maybe 100 people might want to come and do the advanced part. You get this much? Now,
yes, yes.
second, what you have said is that I will charge Udemy courses of 500, 700,000 bucks, and out of that I'll give them a cashback. What is your percentage of cashback you were thinking of giving? Say I paid 1,000 rupees to, I enrolled for this for 1,000 rupees. How much will I get back if I finish everything?
If you finish everything, you'll get back the entire amount in your wallet. But if you want to, take it back to your bank account, then you will cut a 10 or 15
Okay,
percent
okay. Hold it, hold it,
of the
hold
entire
it. Okay, now
cost.
you're telling me you will give me my entire amount back, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who's going to calculate GST on this? Because that is going to the government, whether you like it or not.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes.
First
Yeah.
problem in your
I didn't, I
workflow.
didn't, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the government is like, screw you, whether he's learning for free or unless you, then you have to start an NGO,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Then
So
you start an
basically,
NGO.
what I thought was to me, to make profit. anyways the course is gonna be for a duration of at least 2 months, a good course. Let's say I pay
No, no, no.
1,000
That's
rupees.
fine. That's fine. See, I'll tell you what. I'm just trying to make people think in a different way, right? This is what we do, right? We do, as in, even when you're running a business or if you talk about any founder, all day, every day, we're only thinking to solve problems. That's what we do, right? Our job is not data entry. Our job is how to solve problems, how to think from a different angle. So, see, I'm just going to tell some points, right? So, for example, you said, okay, you want to give 100% cash back into their wallet. Okay, firstly, the GST, you'll have a big problem there, because if as a course is $1,000, I have paid 1,000 plus 18%, 1180 rupees I've paid. Chalo, assume 180 rupees. You can even put one disclaimer and say, you know what, you will not get the GST amount back because that goes to the government. You will only get the amount you paid for the course. Chalo, wo bhi agreed,
Okay.
understood.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now the second question is, who is the teacher here and how are they going to get paid? Is it a platform or
That
is it managed by you as a company?
yeah. So the first I thought it would be good if you have the idea like Udemy where other people can upload courses and then
Like a platform.
the students, yeah, but then that won't work out because we are giving away all the cash, right? So that
Correct.
I thought that won't work out. Definitely the educators would not love this platform, obviously, because all their money is going. So the only feasible option would be to partner up with some institutes or colleges like in Coursera, and make courses on
So,
different.
or basically, you become like An Academy and Byju's where they have their own teachers.
Yeah, we pay them a fixed amount rather than commission. We
Okay.
take a commission or something.
Now, that fixed amount that you're paying them, do you know how expensive teachers are in today's date? Or let's call it
Yeah,
creators.
yeah,
So if you want to teach something in marketing, the only reason why, firstly, let's understand this from a different perspective. Firstly, the cashback offer that you have said is an attractive feature, correct? It is not your startup. That is not your startup. Your startup is an education
yeah,
platform,
yeah,
correct?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
The
correct.
cashback is a feature.
Yeah, it just makes our platform stand out.
Okay, cool. Now you're telling me that you want to, like, say, for example, you want to get the best marketing guy out there to do one session on your thing. And let's not even make it live. Let's make it optimize it even more by saying it's a pre-recorded session. So one time he will shoot 15 videos and wohi video ko you'll keep recycling again and again and again. You have to pay an upfront cost to that guy. Maybe he'll charge you 10 lakhs for it, or maybe 5 lakhs for it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay, now you will put that on your website because it's pre-recorded and it's not live, and you want, like, just like in Udemy, you want people to finish that and not have a bad dropout rate. You will keep selling that for a very low cost point, right? Obviously you won't sell that course for 10,000. You will sell it for 500, 999, or 1500, correct? Approximately
Yeah,
that much.
comparable. Yeah, comparable with Udemy. The
Correct,
prices.
comparably that.
Yeah.
Now, do you know that why in the industry, like, say for example, Byju's and Unacademy, do you know why they're so expensive?
Because of the quality of the teachers, they charge a lot.
Not only the quality, because education, right, you cannot become a profitable company by keeping very low cost of education. It's just not possible.
Yeah,
For example, I'll tell you why. Okay, for example, when we did our pro leagues, okay, we kept a very low cost and we tried experimenting with that. We said, you know what, we'll be the lowest cost in the market. We'll only charge 5,000 rupees a month and 15,000 for 3 months. And that the 3 month course actually went on for 6 months course. If all the people who were there in the pro leagues would know this, that it was not for 3 months, it was actually 6 months. Now, if you take, even if you take 5,000 into 3, which is 15,000, and then you split it on by people's value over 15,000, okay, and you say 100 people joined it, it becomes 15 lakhs for 3 months. 15 lakhs, 3 months, 15 lakhs matlab monthly kitna hua? 5 lakhs.
finance.
Okay, monthly का 5 lakhs हुआ. Now monthly का 5 lakhs में the creator's cost will be maybe 2.5 lakhs. Then you need an assistant for that person. Maybe you need some technology. Maybe you need some Zoom ka. You have to buy that extra premium package. You see how difficult it is. That is this I'm saying by selling 5,000 rupees ka course into 100 students. Licenses, this, that. So if you sell, let's assume, okay, you sell 999 ka course, okay, you know how many of it you have to sell to even make 1 crore? Let's say you want to make 1 crore in revenue in a year, huh?
Yeah,
in a year, if you want to make 1 crore in revenue from something which is 999, you need to sell 10,000 courses of that in a year to make 1 crore in revenue. Out of that 1 crore in revenue, you will see that your cost of that 1 crore will be much more. Okay, out of this 1 crore, you maybe only paid 10 lakhs to that person, right? Done. But that was a one time cost. 10
Yeah,
lakhs gone, 90 lakhs left.
yeah,
Correct? Now, your cost of operating your company would be very high month on month,
yeah.
because now how will you sell the courses? Word of mouth पे तो courses इतना बिकता नहीं है. You have to run ads.
Marketing, yeah.
Yes. Now, when you do marketing, there is something called return on ad spend. What is return on ad spend? Basically means if I'm spending some kind of money and that ad is converting and giving me a sale, is it the same amount that I'm spending, or am I getting more on my ad spend? So if I spend 300 rupees on an ad and I got one purchase of 900 rupees, that means 600 rupees ka benefit, right? For 300 rupees, I sold something for 900 rupees. But if I run an ad and if it's 1500 rupees I've spent for each person to sign up on my 900 rupees course, it would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Correct. That's the second point. Customer acquisition cost. By the way, the average customer acquisition cost in the edtech industry is 5,000 rupees.
Yeah, I was coming to that. Yeah.
Very expensive. Very expensive. You
So yeah,
see the
definitely
number of
this will be
upgrade ads.
yeah, yeah, this will definitely be burning cash at least for the first 2 or 3 years. But I guess after we acquire a lot of customers, we will have a lot of money locked with us for a period of 1 or 2 months. Let's say a course is for 2 months. We are not going to repay them back within 2 months. So the 1,000 rupees that a guy spends will be with us for at least 2 months. So once many people are there in the platform, we'll have surplus cash with us, right?
Okay,
And
let's take that example also. Chalo.
since it's locked with us for 2 months minimum, we'll also get interest, right? We can
Correct,
invest it
correct,
somewhere
correct,
and we
correct.
can get
Now let's come to
pretty
that point.
decent interest.
That point is very smart. What you're saying is 2 months. Okay, let's assume Shashank came to your platform, CourseFlix. I took up a course for 999 rupees, which is a 2 month course. And after 2 months, I will get the cash back in my wallet, but I am upfront paying 999 rupees. Okay.
Yeah,
Now let's also
exactly.
assume that, like me, like the 999 rupees, like me, there are 100 people who have come and bought this. 100 is a good number, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what 100 into 999 rupees is?
It's 1 lakh.
That's 1 lakh.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, this 1 lakh, you will keep it for 3 months or 2 months. What is the interest you will get per month?
and 5% max.
From where you will get
Uh,
5%
that
per month?
maybe
You won't
maybe
get
we still
5%
have
per
the
month. Not
students.
even close to 5% per month you'll get. You will get max 0.7%. 0.8 if you're lucky.
Students.
Yeah. Why? Because liquid fund gives you 7.5 to 8% a year, which gives you 0.7 to 0.8% a month. So on your 1 lakh rupees, okay, that you're saying I will make, again, your that is not a core money making function, right? If that is your core money making function, you lost already. Correct? You're
Yeah,
saying
this
1
will
lakh pay, I will make
easily.
0.8% in a month, less than 1%. That's 800 rupees.
Yes, 800.
Correct?
Uh,
Number one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, the one more thing that I try depend upon is Udemy has a course completion rate of around 2 to 5%. So
Hmm.
even if we provide cashbacks, I'm pretty sure many students are lazy. Like me, even if I know I'm going to get a cashback once I complete the course, I will definitely not complete the course. I am pretty lazy, so I depend on the fact that many students are lazy to complete the courses, and I am damn sure maximum 50% of the students might complete the course. So the remaining 50% we'll have the money with us. It's not like we are gonna give away the entire 1 lakh that we had initially got upfront.
Okay.
So
I'm
let's
saying
say
that's
out
also
of the 1
fine.
lakh, 50,000 is vanished. The
But
remaining
see how
50,000.
much volume you're playing against? You're playing against some insane amount of volume.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm?
We need a
Like it's a
lot of
volume business.
lot. Yeah, we need lot of customers to make this profitable. Else, it's going to.
Also,
So you
Prashant,
need
a
a lot
cap
of,
model.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Shashank. Sorry, you go ahead. Yeah.
No, I think I was talking about the same point. You're talking about capital.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about it. Yeah.
Continue.
I'm saying that in your whole model, see, the point is that your cashbacks are financed by your marketing costs, right? And that marketing cost is borne by you as a company. Now you are saying for at least the first couple of years, we will sort of be a loss making one. But that's where
Yeah,
most of the startups fail, right? 90% of the startups fail in India in the first 3 years because they can't. The major reason is they can't raise enough capital to cover the cost, right? So in your model as well, initially it will be a very, very cash burning model because you will have to literally pull the users from Udemy, Coursera, EDX, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
those
And if
cash
we get the
burning,
customers,
yeah, you won't be able to have enough pocket to be able to survive that cash burn for long. You will need to raise capital, and capital for you as well would not be a very easy process to raise because most investors, like we invest in startups, like I invest in startups, I would look for the metrics, right? That how are your metrics, how are your retention rates coming through? At a point of time when you will say, Aditya, please give me capital so that I can cover the marketing cost. I, as an investor, would ask you, okay, what's your model looking like, and what's how many creators are there, how many active sessions are happening, how many active listeners are there. So the answer to it you will not be able to provide because you would be raising money for marketing, and I would not be able to provide you because I would not have the metrics to validate that. So rather than, of course, saying that for the first 2 years you will be able to survive with just like pure play marketing cost, मैं खुद से ही finance कर लूँगा, that won't be feasible, buddy. So you'll have to think of an effective way to keep your CACs, which is your customer acquisition cost, very, very low. Either go through a B2B route, which great learning, of course, platforms like that started with, or either create your own niche. One another thing that is missing in your platform is it's not niche centric. Since you are saying it's like a marketplace where any creator can create content, it does not have
no, no, no.
one
It
niche
isn't like
around
that.
it.
It's not like no, no, no. It's not like any creator can create content on the platform. It's more like EDX and course.
No. But then also realize, like, if you look at the rise of an academy or if you look at the rise of Coursera, all these had niche, right? Coursera ka founder Andrew Ng started by creating machine learning videos which went viral. An academy ka founder, which was Roman Saini, started by creating IAS videos which went viral. So you that point you'll have to think of, let's say, either a star creator who creates a good quality content and pulls all the audience that he or she has on one place. Either that needs to happen, or you need to come out with something very niche and specific course which just picks up the virality. So that is something which you haven't talked about right now. It's like a very linear growth, but if you have to scale that fast in your entire model, you'll have to need to have that that crazy virality factor, and that is something that you should think or work out, because you'll not be able to survive. The bottom line is you will not be able to survive more than beyond 3 or 4 months, let alone 2 years. And this comes from personal experience of funding almost 10 tech companies now, that you'll not be able to survive the next more than 3 4 months if you don't find the right business model, or if you don't raise enough capital to cover your marketing cost.
Exactly.
Also, let me tell you something else. The reason why Unacademy and a lot of other places have a drop off rate is also because the creators, there's two reasons. One, maybe I'm not connecting with the creator. Okay. Maybe I just had this thing that I want to learn marketing, but then when I started episode number one, I realized I don't want to learn marketing and I'm bored. So learning alone sucks, number one. Right? It's very boring to learn alone. If you have to learn alone, the chances of you succeeding is already very less. Even if you give me a cashback tomorrow, I might not want to learn alone. Right? There was a company that did this with the in the gymming space, where if you have to set up a routine, put some money there, and if you don't work out for a few days, they will cut that money from you. Okay, and if you work out, you will, and if you work out for a few days, they'll give you money. Basically, they used to cut money from people who used to not work out, and they used to give you money for the people who used to regularly work out. So you're actually getting paid to work out really well. Smart idea, very smart idea. The thing is, in this kind of business, number one, you're curating your own creators, which is an issue. Okay, I would say you should still do the, if you do the platform route, that's better. But again, how will the creators earn is your big issue. So if you're curating your own, the first thing that I would change is, instead of selling a course for 999, Okay, because you say you want 999 rupees as profit. Whatever happens on this, every sale I want 1000 rupees profit. You should sell the course for 1500 and then tell them, if you complete the course, I will give you 500 rupees back into your wallet.
Yeah, but in that case, won't they be like, why can't you provide the course at 1,000 rupees itself?
No, see, people won't ask you that question. You can just say the course is
No, the 100%.
1500.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Course is 1500. Course is not 1000 rupees. That's you decide. No, how much the course is going to cost.
Yeah,
I'm saying whatever you price the course at, slightly price it higher and give an artificial discount. Not discount, just say that yes, if it's done, I will give you 50%. Do not give 100% cashback. That's very stupid. Give
that
50%
hundred
cashback.
percent cashback is like, that is what is the marketing. The
Again, I'm telling
the
you again,
standout
cashback,
feature, right? The hundred
it
percent
stands.
cashback is the standout feature.
50% also will be a same standard feature. No one's doing it in the market. How will you make money? See, in the end, the feature can be great. Your feature idea is great. But then if you don't make money, there's no business, correct?
Maybe we can price the courses pretty higher, like let's say 5,000, and let's keep the 100% cashback concept itself.
Okay, then your
And
volume
Yogeshwar
drops.
50.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 exactly.
No, and you're also telling me your other argument is that, you know what, Shashank, 100 people will buy this 5000 course, उसमें से आधा लोग तो complete नहीं करेंगे तो उसका पूरा पैसा मेरे पास है. But I thought your whole idea was to incentivize that dropout rate so people don't drop out. So you're actually negating dropout. So how can you pitch to an investor saying this idea?
We aren't go no no we aren't gonna make 100%, we are not gonna make everyone complete the course. We will at least make the dropout rate better compared to the other platforms. Currently Udemy is making, if 100 people join a course, just five or
Correct.
three
My
people will
point
take the
is
course.
correct, correct. I understand that. My point is you have 100 people coming up to your course. What if their
Let's make it
dropout rate?
50.
What if 90 people have finished the course and taken your full 5000 cashback? Only 10 people dropped out. Yes, you're successful. You have actually reduced the dropout rate. From 100 people dropping out 50%, now the only 10 people have dropped out. Yes, that way you have solved the issue, but you have not made money in that process.
Also, Shashank, one thing would be that once you increase the prices of the course, people would have more expectations, right? That okay,
Yeah.
this course would be this good, and dropouts would happen even more in that. Not only dropouts would happen, but then it would also lead to something which we call the new user growth. It will curb new user growth because let's say Shashank and me do your course, right? And we say it is priced at 5,000, but we didn't get value for it. And then we
Yeah.
tell our 50 different friends that this platform is totally not worth it because their course price is high and the learnings that we get totally does not match the price that we are paying. So then the marketing also goes for a toss. So the whole cashback thing, again, because your flywheel is your way to start a business model is someone actually coming and buying your course. If that entry point would be blocked because you'll not get quality, you'll not be able to do anything in that business model. And by pricing that course higher, yes, of course, volume would go down and your marketing would also go for a big toss.
So, Prasanna, what I'm
Yes.
saying is your idea is good. There is something that can be done here. There is a way to fix this issue. Right? The only problem I see here is how the unit economics is working, which is basically how the financials are working. Your cashback idea is solid, but don't build a company around a feature. I'll tell you why. Tomorrow, someone can just copy your feature and your idea is gone. Don't build an idea on a feature. Correct? It's not difficult for
Yeah,
someone to give this cashback. Very easy. Credit can launch
yeah,
credit courses and give credit coins and beat you at the same time. So don't build it on the feature and say, you know what, I have this amazing feature and that is why I'm gonna build my entire startup. Put 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs of my own money only on this feature, you will fall. What is the main agenda here? Learning is an important thing, right? So for learning you need to get good creators. What are you going to teach? Is it a particular niche that you're targeting? When we did Avalon, we were teach the Meta app, we were teaching in a particular niche where no one was there, right? No one, very few people were teaching about stock market, very few people were teaching about Facebook marketing and Hotstar ads, right? The add-on, the feature here was live courses and community learning, but that was not a differentiator. Live courses, community learning, 100 people are doing outside on the market right now. The important key element was the creator and the community learning, right? The creator and the what he was teaching was more important. If I come out and say tomorrow I'm going to teach taxation for SMEs, how many people will actually join it?
Very nice.
Barely anything, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So education is your core product value. Reducing dropout rate is your core product value. Yes. Using that feature to reduce is a very smart thing. Giving 100% in my opinion is slightly not smart, but there is a way you can figure this out, because see, even Zerodha, when they started off this DMAT thing, they did the entire thing at 20 rupees, right? Each trade is 20 rupees flat out, and they used to make money on this liquid fund only. But what they played was the volumes there were insane. Insane volumes.
exactly.
And they didn't have to do anything. They just had to build an infrastructure and they got insane volumes. But what was the value there? All the other brokerage firms out there were charging me expensive. This guy's giving me at 20 rupees. So that means what you should be like, that if an academy is charging 10,000 rupees for the same course, you should charge 50 rupees for the same course by the same teacher, something like that. Got it?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Yeah.
So don't worry, the business idea is beautiful, including social commerce with cashbacks in education is something that will definitely work. Tomorrow someone will 100% do this, right? Someone will do this and will be bang on point. uh, Creators itself can do it as well, because if you know, today a lot of creators do that. The If you look at Tanmay Bhatt and you go to his YouTube, he says join my bot army and pay 799 rupees and you get 30% off on my cash, 30% off on my merchandise. So people are
Yeah,
doing that
that's
extra
digital
thing.
Deepak also. That's digital
Digital
Deepak
Deepak,
also
yes,
he
he's
also
giving
does
some
that.
cash back on his course. So people are doing it, but these are not
Yeah,
companies; these are
yeah.
creators doing it. So maybe build a platform for creators to up, maybe give out crazy cashbacks if people finish their course and at the end of it. But factor into that. So if I'm charging 10,000 rupees for a course, I'll maybe charge 12,000 rupees and say 2,000 rupees cashback if you finish it. If you don't, 2,000 वापस मेरे को आएगा. But that 2,000 is a bonus for people who don't finish. For me, right? I
Yeah,
am still happy with 10,000. That should be how it works. Got it?
yeah, exactly.
But a
Prashant, you can
brilliant
also
idea.
study
Work on
this
the
on
numbers.
Academica platform. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry.
Hmm. Go ahead.
हाँ नहीं नहीं आई वाज सेइंग दैट प्रशांत इफ यू वांट टू स्टडी अन अकेडमी का भी एक प्लेटफॉर्म है ग्राफी करके इनफैक्ट दे रीच आउट टू मी एज वेल सो यू कैन स्टडी दैट बिकॉज दे आर ट्राइंग टू सॉर्ट ऑफ
Yeah.
बिल्ड समथिंग सिमिलर which is getting creators at one place and getting them to launch their own courses and get attractive cashbacks and discounts on that. So maybe you can study their model, but yes, you need to revisit your business model again. It's an add-on, it's a feature, and businesses are not
Yeah,
built on features, right? Businesses are built on solid business models and concepts. So a concept is a bit weak, feature-wise it's good. So maybe revisit, go back to the drawing board once again and see how can I integrate and make the content launch faster as well, because your test is also against time, right? The more you delay it, the more content there is out there for the world to consume, and the more options they have, the lesser probability you have for someone buying your course. So try and see, it's a speed against time, right? So make sure that you try and find the right content strategy too, a right business strategy, and a right, of course, scaling strategy. I think all three of that you need to work on to refine that idea into a business.
yeah,
But very good idea, man. Keep it, keep it. Think about how you can make it refined. Think about how, take your time. As I told you, ideas are easy to do. Ideas are cheap. Execution is difficult. Now you just realize that your idea was good, but there were so many things missing in your execution, which were things that you had not thought of. Correct? And
yeah, yeah.
that is what
The income
we talk about.
tax, that the GST part, I didn't think at all. That
Yeah.
was,
No issues, no issues. There's so many things that are still missing, right? But that is why we're doing this session, so that not only you, but a lot of people can understand from live case studies of how people think, how you should think. And now they start, it is not for startups, it is basically in life, you will know how to sort problems now.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Got it? Okay,
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you, Prashant.
thanks, thanks.
Okay, finally, we come to Sushmit Ghosh. I think Sushmit Ghosh has folded his hands and waiting for a very long period of time. Sushmit, are you there?
Yes, yes. Hi, Shashank. Hi, Aditya.
सो गया क्या?
Hello, am I audible?
This is
Shashank, your voice
good
is
ideas
breaking.
take time.
Hello.
Okay, can you
Should
hear
I
me
start?
now?
Perfect, perfect. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait, I think my Wi-Fi just conked off. Okay. So, guys, the last idea is from Sushmit Ghosh. I'll just tell you what he's asked in the idea, and I'll let Sushmit go through it even more. It's a very you. I mean, a lot of people have spoken about this that they want cryptocurrency. Freaks out there who love cryptocurrency. This basically says small case for cryptocurrencies, theme-based, risk-based investing connected with crypto exchanges. Right, Sushmit, you can go
Yes,
ahead.
that is the idea. So the problem statement here is people invest with a lot of FOMO, and that is where they don't take calculated risks. So here, that is where the product comes in. I think just like small case, I think everyone knows what a small case is. So just like that, I think this will be a small case for crypto. But the main problem here is the government policies, which are not yet. I don't know. Nothing is happening as of yet with the government policies. So that is the only problem.
Correct.
And people will take calculated risks and not go YOLO with their investments. That is the main problem I'm trying to solve.
Okay. Did people firstly understand the idea? It is basically, do you guys firstly know what small case is? If people don't know what small case is, right? No, I'll explain what it is very quickly.
I think
Okay,
let's
for all the
explain.
people who don't know what small case is a website. Yeah. Yeah, so for people who don't know what Small Case is a website. You can go look at it. It basically it's a company that gives you a theme, okay, which basically says, okay, let's look at electric vehicles as a theme, and you click on that small case. Small case is nothing but say a basket. Okay, you click on it, and it opens a section where it shows you all the stocks that are there in the electric vehicle segment, and they'll show you some ratios of how much they've invested in each stock as well. And if you had to go figure out, rack your brains and figure out what to invest, you can just go to small case, see what is there, and just click on that button and just invest in that. Okay, and it will go directly to your demat account. It doesn't go to small case. The money, your shares are directly in your demat account. So it's basically theme based investing. It's done by them. They're not a mutual fund, so there's no expense ratio over here. They take a small fee for building this theme. That's all. Okay, that is what small case is, but it's a theme based thing. Now, what Sushmit is saying, can we do theme based small cases or theme based baskets? Let's put it in a simple way. Theme based baskets for the cryptocurrency world and then tie up with exchanges. So, for example, if I have to say, let's look at a theme. Let's say the theme is Internet of Things. Okay, so we look at all the cryptocurrencies that are targeting IoT, and then we'll make a basket of that. Or you say, you know what, I don't want IoT, let's look at different type of cryptocurrency. Let's say P2P lending cryptocurrency tokens. Okay, you make a basket of those type of cryptocurrencies. Or if you say, you know what, I don't like that, let's look at the telecom sector. There's something like Dent, or or maybe tech based crypto. Not tech is too generic, but say consumer social based cryptocurrencies. Then you make a separate basket of 15 or 20 cryptocurrencies for that.
So that's where the
You got
risk
it?
will be very less.
Correct. So DeFi based, DeFi
Shashank, your voice is lagging and breaking.
based, different type of themes and different type of cryptocurrencies from that. My voice is still breaking or what?
Yeah, your voice is breaking and lagging.
One sec. Is my voice breaking?
Now,
It's
now
fine
it's
now.
clear. Now it's clear.
Yeah, it went to that mode where it says reconnect if the network is clear. Yeah, some issue with that. Okay, no issues. So yeah. Now, if you look at the idea from an idea perspective, I like it. Again, Aditya, what are your thoughts? A small case for cryptocurrencies.
Interesting. As in seeing the recent hype of crypto, of course, I think it's going to stay, right? And it can be a good investment. But I think again, small case also does a lot of financial education. So I think one aspect that you can start with is educating people about crypto, because there are a lot of myths around crypto. Secondly, right now I'm not sure if you can do that while registering in India. So probably you'll need to move to a country like Singapore, which allows you to, of course, do more of international transactions like cryptos. So I think that registration also needs to be sorted out if you actually want to move ahead, because most of the crypto startups that I see these days are moving outside. They're not registering in India because you never know the government, and most of the trade is actually happening between the Singapore, USA, Malaysia, and all these countries. That is again, you'll have to maybe figure out if your market is in India or maybe outside, because India does not have a lot of knowledge around crypto, let aside thematic cryptos, right? Which are very theme
Yes.
based. That is again, and you'll of course education. If your financial education needs to be very very sorted, like Zerodha has Varsity, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, small case is also their product. So you'll need to focus on the financial education aspect of it and educate people more around that. What you can do maybe is do a lot of road shows and do a lot of online campaigns with influencers uh, outside to create that, amplify that knowledge. But what I'm interested to still understand is crypto based exchanges or tokens have a very very less percentage, right? They hardly make some amount under a million transactions, right? That's the like the lowest, that's like the bottom level that you have to hit when you are running a crypto exchange, at least get to a million transactions. So I want to understand from you before making an overall judgment, that what would be your business model in this. How would you basically charge from users?
So basically, I've thought about the revenue model, but haven't done. Matlab, I have thought about it, but not totally. Like I thought about like unit economics. How it will work is I'll charge a certain percentage for every transaction. Okay, and another certain percentage will come from the exchanges where the orders will go. So basically, there are two sides of it. What do you think about this?
See, then from my experience of, in fact, right now I'm investing in a crypto startup, but it will take some time. But from what I have sort of learned firsthand is that if you're running a such kind of a platform, which where it's like a marketplace and people can buy tokens, it's very difficult to scale up, right? Sorry, it's very difficult to scale up with revenue. Sorry, it's good to scale up, it's easy to scale up. It's difficult to scale up with revenue,
Okay.
because most of what you'll be earning 0.001%. That is
Yes,
how
something like
smaller
that.
margins can get in a crypto transaction. So you'll be earning this amount, and this amount would eventually go into your marketing, right? So because you need to
Yes.
do a whole lot of marketing before you start formally running a cryptocurrency platform like that. Then what other players I've been seeing is they've been mining their own coins, right? To generate their own knowledge around it. People have been launching, like crypto exchanges have been launching their own private coins.
Like
So
Binance.
yeah. They've been coming out with their own Binance and coming out with their own ICOs. So that also maybe you'll have to think of in order to increase the revenue. My whole point is that how will you get to the concern is how the customer acquisition would look like. B is the concern is how the awareness and how the knowledge spreading would happen symmetrically between people, between users. And third is the revenue aspect, where I'm most concerned, because you will also need to survive. These are the three things that I found. But overall, of course, thematic based crypto investments sound good to me. Yeah. What about you, Shashank? Like, what are your concerns?
I'll tell you one big concern I have. Okay, thematic based cryptocurrency investing is great. You can, tie up with exchanges, have some referral fee with them, do a lot of transactions and make a small amount of money for it as well. Like even if you look at small case, they play on volumes. They don't play on anything apart from volumes, right? 100 rupees they charge for something and that to one time that you invest. And if you do an SIP, they don't charge you anything apart from that. If you invest in some of their other small cases, they're at 75 rupees, 50 rupees they take. Again, they play on volumes. But the biggest problem that I have, which I see is the biggest difference between small case and you, is that in your sector, see, the reason why small case is working is because they have multiple themes, and they have all these mid cap, large cap companies, and they give a average amount of return, and that is also back tested over a long period of time. And it'll give you 30%, 40%, 50% kegger. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, apart from Bitcoin and the top five coins, what guarantee can you give with the other coins that it'll even survive for the next 5 to 7 years? If I have to backtest it, would it even survive? Number one. Second thing, if you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and if you leave these two aside and you look at all the other coins, either they can go directly up 100% kegger, or they can go zero kegger instantly, because the coin itself would disappear from earth, right? If you look at Shiba Inu, whatever that new one is coming out, look at the hype that it got created, and it just crashed instantly. Shiba Inu. Secondly, all the good coins that you talk about are very expensive. So even if you buy a small version of it, or even if you buy a small portion of it, you will still be heavily dependent on Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they're the only two people who might have some fundamentals or who have some adoption in the crypto market. So if you look at themes, and if you say I'm going to make a theme with 10 cryptos in the basket, there's no guarantee that those 10 cryptos in the next year will even survive or not. Correct?
Yes,
So
that
you're
is the point.
automatically your fund